Yay Networks.
Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. I'm Kellie Raspberry Evans, along with my husband and podcasting co-host, Alan Evans.
Hey, train in the house.
And we've got a fun podcast lined up for you today, whenever you happen to be listening. Thank you for joining us. On the last podcast, gosh, they're all running together, Alan. Was it the last podcast we did the Maybe Baby contest, or was it the one before? I'm all confused.
I think it was the last one, but we recorded it before the one before it.
Yeah, we recorded out of order.
Before that.
And that's thrown my game off. But
I don't know.
We've got a few more. We want to remind you again about the Maybe Baby contest, Maybe Baby 3.0. But we're actually going to talk to the winner of the very first Maybe Baby contest. Well, it happened, it's about 2 years ago, right?
I think that's right.
About 2 years ago.
Well, her baby was born 1 year ago today.
Yep.
And that's part of the reason we want to talk to her.
Yep. By the time you listen to the podcast on my birthday, actually, the baby was born on April 12th, and that's after a full gestation period. But it's been a couple of years since we had the first Maybe Baby contest, and it was such a beautiful story. And I remember how excited we were to call the couple, and Kellie and Luis, and they were at a baseball game. We'll talk about all that. I don't want to steal anybody's thunder before we get to that, but it'll be fun to catch up, see how our first Maybe Baby is doing, little Asher.
Official podcast baby.
Official podcast baby.
I hope they're okay with us calling him the official podcast baby.
I think they're very okay with it. I'll tell you what, Kellie loves taking that baby's pictures, and I don't blame her one bit.
I don't blame her.
Beautiful baby.
It's a cute, handsome little baby.
And she often tags us in her Instagram post. She doesn't have to, but she's sweet to do that to make sure we see them. And she even has a little sandwich and some lovin' hat that she puts on him. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the plan is to do that every birthday.
And let's not forget my man, Luis.
Oh, yeah, he had a little something to do with it,
He had something to do with this.
He's nice enough to stand there and smile for all the pictures.
Yeah, my man.
But they're great. We were so excited about that. And hopefully that'll give some people encouragement who have been through an infertility or a fertility journey. I don't know if you call it a fertility journey or an infertility journey. I'm not really sure. But I know it's a lot of people are going through that. It's really interesting. Every year we're just a couple weeks past April Fool's Day. And one of the biggest pranks that usually got played over the past few years was women faking pregnancy announcements. And then a lot of people got the memo, you don't do that, because there are so many, infertile couples struggling, and becoming pregnant is no joke.
Yeah, and that's kind of a sorry joke.
It is a sorry joke. And you know who just did it? Was Tori Spelling. She was trying to make people think she was pregnant again. She's had several babies, so her belly's a little bit distended, and she can make it, you can poke your belly out. You and I can both poke our bellies out and make it look like we're pregnant.
Yeah.
And she did that.
I can poke it out. It looks like there's a basketball in my shirt.
And at first she was trying to blame it on miscommunication, but then she finally had to come out and say, yeah, that was in poor taste. So we don't joke about stuff like that. But anyway, hopefully Kellie and Luis's story, hopefully my story has been encouraging to people who have dealt with wanting a baby so badly and it just not happening. And then hopefully it finally does for one of our listeners who's listening and takes part in Maybe Baby 3.0. We'll get to that.
But yeah, we're right in the middle of the contest, so we might as well talk about.
We'll tell you about it really quick. If you want to, you can go to kellyandallen.com/
Maybe Baby.
That's right. kellyandallen.com/ Maybe Baby. And that'll take you right to a link where you just give us a little bit of information about you, and you tell us about your infertility journey in 100 words or less. I know that sounds impossible, but I know you can do it. You have to get that into us by 5 p.m. Central on April 20th. And the winning couple will be announced on the April 22nd podcast. This is all this year, 2021. So if you're happening, maybe a couple years from now, we have people tell us all the time they go back and listen to podcasts from the very beginning. And some of those contests have long ended.
Yeah, those are over. But this one is going, like Kellie said, until the 22nd. Well, actually, the 20th, and then we'll announce the winner on the 22nd.
Of April 2021.
But we've gotten a lot of entries already.
We do. Every time we get one in, my phone bings.
Yeah.
It's a little phone bing, bing.
A whole bunch of them, which is
all times, the day and night.
which is, I guess that's good that people, are interested in sharing their stories, but it also gives you a reminder at how, I guess, prevalent infertility is.
It is.
And a lot of people struggle with it.
Yeah, if you want to go back and listen to the previous podcast, we talked to doctors Kevin and Kathy Duty. Oh, gosh, how can we not mention they're the reasons we're giving a free IVF cycle away again, effortless IVF cycle, thanks to doctors Kevin and Kathy Duty. And we were talking about that because Dr. Kevin was my infertility doctor. And, just about, is it environment? Is it our diet? Is it just we're waiting longer and longer to get pregnant? I don't know. There's so many factors. But just one little quick side note also, the free cycle needs to be completed by July 30th of 2021 if you are chosen for this contest. So anyway, we're going to get to Kellie in just a minute. I'm so excited to get an update on baby Asher. And also, Alan, I don't know if you've been keeping up. I don't think you keeping up with the celebrities as much as I do, but I know you keep up with politics a little bit more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about combining the two, celebrities and politics? It has been done with some success.
It has been.
Celebrity, the first one that comes to mind is Ronald Reagan, an actor who went on to become
Mr. Gorbachev.
Yeah.
Tear down this wall.
Went on to be governor of California, then eventually the president of the United States, as we all know, my favorite president of all time. Probably just because the time he was president. I was graduating high school and he was like a grandpa.
What about the governor?
Arnold Schwarzenegger became the governor of California, could not run for president because he was not born in the United States, but the same rule does not apply for governors. Did you know that?
What about Jesse Ventura?
Yes, there's so many examples we could give. But The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, people keep encouraging him to run, and he keeps saying things like, well, if the people want it, I might have to give the people what they want. It would be my honor to serve. That's the best I can do.
Oh.
But he just says it might be his honor. So anyway.
What state?
Well, he's in I
California?
don't know if he'd do California or Hawaii. I'm not really 100% sure what he'd choose. But Matthew McConaughey has also expressed interest in running for office. And he's been very politically outspoken, especially as of late. So that's a possibility. But we asked, we didn't. There was a survey done asking Americans, what do you think about celebrities running? And who do you think has the best shot? Who would you maybe vote for? So we might get to that too.
Okay.
Depending on how things go on.
People love lists.
I love lists and I love surveys. And you know what else I love? Taking time for myself, taking care of myself. Self-care is very important. It's important for our well-being, right? Now more than ever. So whatever you're using to get ready to take on the day or settle in for the night, it should make you feel amazing. You know what I love? Taking a nice long bubble bath and running my Billy razor up my legs, getting a really close, extra smooth shave, and then climbing into crisp, clean sheets. That's the best feeling, right?
Crisp.
Freshly shaved legs on clean bed sheets. Alan, you've never experienced that as a hairy man, have you?
No, I have not.
Well, let me tell you, it's awesome. And Billy is the best razor out there to get that job done. For those days when you want an extra smooth shave, no pink tax, no visit to the drugstore, no break in the bank. You can go to mybilly.com to get their starter kit for just $9. It's so affordable. It includes their award-winning razor, 2 refill blades, and the cult favorite magnetic holder. I used to think I had to shave with a man's razor to get super close, but that's not the case. And I love how Billy feels in my hand, how it floats over my skin. And I swear I can go longer between shaves thanks to Billy. You should check out the Allure Best of Beauty winner for yourself, Billy's razor.
But if I did want to shave my legs with a Billy razor and rub them on sheets, there wouldn't be a problem with that.
I agree, honey.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I
and
agree.
To express a little love for our show, go to mybilly.com/lovin'. It's a small way you can support us while getting the best razor you will ever own. It's $9 to get your starter kit plus free shipping always. And you can get it at mybilly.com/lovin'. Spelled mybillie.com/lovin'.
Boom.
Love Billy.
Now, Alan and I, we don't do this a lot on the podcast. We're going to make a phone call. Thanks to modern technology, we're going to cross our fingers and hope that this works.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, this isn't pre-recorded, and we're not inserting this in the podcast.
No, this is live.
This is all happening live. So here we go. Let's see how this works.
What could go wrong?
Oh yeah.
Let's see what. So far, so good. I hear something.
On a Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast.
Oh.
Oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, Kellie.
Hi, Kellie.
Hi, Kellie. This is Kellie. Is that Luis I also hear?
Yes, he's right here.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, we're trying to do this fly by the seat of our pants, call you on this technology stuff that we don't do very often. So hopefully you can hear us okay.
Yes, can you hear us okay?
We can.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. Hey, Kellie and Luis, it's Allen.
Perfect. Hi, Allen.
We
I have a funny story for you really quickly if you have just a second.
We have all the time in the
Absolutely.
world, but I'll tell you this, we can't hear Luis that well.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's because he just talks really quiet.
Okay.
He's very reserved. So
All right, tell your
yes.
story. Tell your story.
So, you know our names are spelled the same, right? Kellie.
I know
with an
what?
IE.
Yes,
Our names are spelled the same?
Yes.
So, my mom's maiden name is Allen.
Really?
Get out of here.
Yes, it's just so funny.
And it's spelled the same way?
It's spelled the same way,
Well, this was really
That is
serendipitous.
crazy.
I never knew that.
right?
Well, that's
Yeah,
cute.
It's funny.
Well, we're recording this on April 12th, 2021, which happens to be a very special day for you.
Yes. The best day of my life.
Tell everybody.
It's Asher's birthday.
It's baby Asher.
Yay.
It's our very first little show baby. Asher, and I'll tell you what a handsome boy. I know you're so proud.
Oh, thank you. It's so hard because I just look at him and I can't stand it sometimes. I'm just like, I don't know how he got so cute.
Oh, you got all the good looks of that boy. You're going to be in trouble in a few years.
And he's a talker. He's very chatty. So anytime he sees, he really likes to like flirt. So anytime we take him anywhere, he just is like goo goo gaga, like la 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 la, just making sounds and always just like making eyes at girls. And so we're just like, we're gonna lock him up.
Aw.
Where's he learn to be a ladies' man like that?
I don't know. It must be his Uncle A-Train. I'm not sure.
Oh no.
Alan slipped some of his DNA in there somehow.
No, I did not do that. I did not do that.
Well, I tell you, it was a couple of years. We don't really remember the exact math. Maybe you, because it happened for you when we called you that day at the baseball game and told you that you were going to get this, free cycle of IVF. And at the time, it's not a guarantee that you were going to get pregnant, but it was a ray of hope, right? Can you tell everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell everybody, if without going too deep in what you don't want to share, a little bit about your infertility journey, what you had done before you finally had your little Asher?
Remember. So, yes, I recall that day. It was May 8th, and we were at a Houston Astros game, and I just remember looking at my phone and freaking out and saying, "Oh my gosh, Kellie Raspberry just touched me," because I've always loved you, and we've always listened to you on the radio, and we were just so shocked because it had slipped my mind that I had even submitted the information to the contest because I was doing it just thinking like, what are the chances that we would ever be picked? So I'll just do it, and I'm not going to tell Luis because I don't want to get his hopes up or anything, and I'll just kind of keep it to myself. So it was definitely a shock. But yes, I remember that moment, and I'll never forget it. But as far as our infertility journey, Luis and I started trying to have a baby in 2009, right after getting married. And we had bad luck for several years. Miscarriages, unexplained miscarriages. We went through a lot of testing for like DNA and just different things. And no doctor could ever really give us an answer. And so we just kind of kept trying naturally, like everyone would do. And so this went on, for years, honestly. And in 2012, I had an ectopic pregnancy. And then again, the doctors kind of say, you're one in this many thousand people for this to happen again. So just keep trying because it could happen.
Lucky you, right?
Actually, yeah, but just keep trying. It's really unlikely that this would happen again. And then 2 years later in 2014, we found out we were pregnant, and we made it to about the 9-week mark, and we found out again that it was an ectopic. But that time I wasn't so lucky. It got to the point where my tube actually burst. It ruptured while I was at work.
Oh, no.
And so, yeah, after a crazy trip to the emergency room and, a life-saving surgery, honestly, I ended up I almost bled to death, honestly. It was really a horrible time for me and Luis. But coming out of surgery and everything, the news that I received from my doctor was, we kind of missed it. And the real reality for you going forward is just that now you have about a 2% chance of ever getting pregnant naturally again.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, one tube was gone. The other was so damaged from, the previous ectopic that, was just more dangerous than it was safe to try naturally. So in 2014, we walked away just kind of thinking we need to learn how to process it and either learn to live a life without the future of a child or, try to figure out a way to like financially be able to do IVF, which for us just wasn't something we could do. And so we had talked, I have a lot of friends that have done IVF and, we had heard the costs and the numbers and the figures, and it was just something that, we weren't really in a place to be able to think of that as our future. So in the last year prior to winning the Maybe Baby contest, I think Luis and I both had just gone through a period of growth where we decided, let's learn to just be happy as a family without a baby and try to see what that looks like. Yeah. So, we have dogs and we've just kind of made our own little pretend family, I guess you could say. But, there are babies too. And we had just decided maybe it wasn't in the cards for us. So you guys have changed our lives so much more than I can even put into words.
Well, it's really interesting because the doctors, after you almost died in your journey to try to have a baby. And after that, they told you could still safely get pregnant. You just had to do it through IVF? Or was it still a risk?
No, they told us, you could do IVF, and our doctor, said, here's some more information. It's something you have to think about. You wouldn't be able to do IUIs, which is something that's very common, but you have to have your fallopian tubes for that. So it would have had to be just a first plunge into the all-inclusive, the largest package you've got, like send everything to us and make us do all the traditional IVF stuff. So for us, it was this huge undertaking. Like there's no step in between not getting pregnant naturally and having to do full-blown IVF.
Yeah, because I think that was my journey. Was I tried everything else until I had no other choice, but the IVF, and it's so expensive. Just I felt like I wasted so much time and so much heartache when I should have just gone straight to IVF, which is when I finally found Dr. Duty, as you did. That's what worked for me. Now, when you did go in for your initial consultation, just for people who maybe have never been in the, because I was telling Dr. Duty the other day, it's been almost 15 years since I, had to go through all this. So a lot of this stuff I just forget. Time has a way of erasing the painful parts, but I do vividly remember crying a lot in the parking lot and all that. Yeah. But your initial consultation, was he very cautiously optimistic? Was he like, we're going to make a baby? What was that consultation like with the Duties?
We were so nervous, I think, like driving into that because we just didn't know. We had so much fear and anxiety about it because we were afraid that we would walk into a situation where, not just us as normal people, we believe that we cannot have a baby, but you put yourself in front of like experts and professionals that do this for a living. And so there's that fear inside of you that they're going to look at you and tell you the same thing, like you cannot have a baby. And so for us, that was like our worst fear of like walking out of there and just going like, okay, we left with the same thing we came with, which is no hope, And so going into the appointment, everyone in the office was just amazing. They were expecting us. Obviously they knew who we were, but everyone was just so kind, sincere, and loving. They made us feel so special, just in the part of like waiting to see the doctor. But going into it, honestly, the testing for people that have never decided to even embark on the journey of like going to a fertility doctor or specialist, I think that's the thing that I took away from the first meeting was like, gosh, we should have done this a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know what you don't know, but there's so much information that's provided in that first consultation about what to expect. And realistically, like you kind of asked, what are the odds that this could even happen? And so after just doing the small things, the blood work and just looking at past history and considering everything that we had been through with our age involved, I remember Dr. Kathy just telling us, you've got probably a 20% chance that this would work.
Hey, you know what? She's got to be honest with you, and that's not what you wanted to hear, I'm
right.
sure. But you held on to that You held on to that 20% and said, "Let's go for it," right?
We walked away from the first meeting going like, "Gosh, this is a lot to take in," because you think of percentages, and if somebody says 50-50, okay, let's go. But when somebody says 20%, it's a very low number when you initially hear it, and I think it was shocking for me because I was, either zero or you want 100. You want a black and white answer.
And in your situation,
you can't get that.
And in your situation, thankfully, you had won a free cycle, because if it was not a free cycle and they told you a 20% chance, you're like, okay, am I going to pay all this money and there's an 80% chance I'm not going to have a baby? So that's a real hard thing for some people to come to grips with, because a 20% chance when it's not costing you anything is one thing. So I'm glad. Right. I mean, it just worked out so beautifully for you both. And I'm just so excited because that's the thing we also have to stress with people with this, maybe baby contest. It's an effortless IVF cycle, but not a guarantee that you're going to conceive.
Right.
So that's the thing.
But you know what? Mm-hmm. You know what? It's for us looking back, like we probably didn't take this into the meetings or into our first appointments or into the process with us. But I remember, saying at the end of our journey when we, got a positive pregnancy test and everything was confirmed through the clinic, I remember speaking with the duties and just like explaining how I feel. I feel that, there's so much hope lost in your journey when you're going through IVF. It's so easy to say no to not trying because you don't want to be hurt more than you've already been hurt. And so just knowing that we started at a 20% chance and we ended up with a healthy, happy baby, like it restored so much hope to just life in general. And I don't want people to think, it can't be me, because I was that person. And then look at me now.
Yeah, I know. And I was that person, and look at me, I got a brat upstairs.
Yeah.
Kellie,
it's not a promise of a baby. Winning the contest is not a promise of a baby, but it's a promise of knowledge, and it's a promise of hope. And I just want, whoever's thinking about possibly putting their name out there for it, just do it.
Yeah, because fear could prevent a lot of people from entering, because you're like, I don't want to be disappointed again.
Yeah.
Right.
And Kellie, tell us. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just tell us about when you first found out that you were actually pregnant. What was that like?
Oh my goodness. So they tell you, you've got that waiting period of 14 days, and they say, I think they do the blood work or the blood test, the first one at 11 days after your transfer. They say, don't test at home, wait for that blood draw. And I unfortunately couldn't wait. So I tested at home. I remember walking into the clinic because there's still so much left. Like after that initial test, there's still so much that can happen, right? But I remember walking into the clinic and just knowing that I had already seen the positive test and just waiting, and I was so anxious. And I remember the nurse calling me after the blood work. And so knowing that you've seen two pink lines, but then having someone call and just like confirm the information and give you specifics and be so happy and so excited, it was just something I never thought I would get to experience again.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. And now we've got Asher here. He's a year old. And it's so great to be doing this contest on Asher's birthday. I love that we're talking to you today.
I know. But tomorrow is a special day too. It's your birthday.
That's
so
true. That's true. Thank you very much. I've been thoroughly loved and celebrated. Trust me.
What'd you guys do today, Kellie, for Asher's birthday?
So we had a little party for him on Saturday, and went over the top because it's for us and it's not really for him on the first year.
Right.
So I'm told.
It's all about the pictures.
It was, oh yeah. But we did a little celebration for him on Saturday, and then today it was just kind of like family day. Like me and Luis and him we hung out all day. We did fun things together all day. He got new musical instruments, and just let him do all the just let him do all the things that he really loves, and we just were in the moment, and we just spent it with him and looked at him and kissed him and hugged him as much as we could. Because every moment is just so precious. And I haven't
bottle behind today.
Yes, and I haven't cried all day, so this is probably the first moment. I thought I was going to be a wreck and just cry all day, but I didn't. But he's self-weaned from the bottle, and he's just been such it's just such an incredible journey. But it's so awe-inspiring to watch him every single day. He's just so impressive, and God gives you the baby you need, not necessarily the baby you think you want. But he's been like a magical little baby for us. He sleeps through the night. He gives us a solid 12 hours. He's done that since he's been about a month old. And
Wow.
He's just so full of like joy and happiness and excitement, and his laugh just like sparks our whole world. It's the most beautiful thing. So
that is so fun.
I could talk about him for hours, obviously.
No, we love it. We love it.
We're excited.
What's his favorite toy?
Well, he has a lot of toys. It's been his favorite since the very beginning. It's this zebra. It's a stuffed zebra, and it lights up, and it sings really annoying songs. But he loves it. He loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he say? It's hard to hear, Luis. What did he say?
He knows how to press the buttons now, so.
Oh, he can do it on his own. Yeah.
We don't have to do it for him.
Yeah, he's just becoming independent. His first word was mom.
Oh,
that's unusual.
Yeah.
Unusual because usually it's dada.
Usually they can do the easier.
Yeah.
No, so literally everything is mom, mama, everything, and it's beautiful. And then his second word was dad.
Oh.
He just woke up one morning and was like, dad, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's so cute.
Oh, it's adorable.
Yeah, we love him.
Well, we love following.
We love him.
We love him too, and we love following you on social media
the
and
pictures
seeing how cute he is.
Are so cool. You post the greatest pictures. You put him in all kinds of nice little outfits, and he always looks so happy.
So happy to be having his picture taken. He better be.
Oh, but it takes like 1,000 pictures to get those one or two. So
Yeah.
the stress behind the camera is definitely
all smoke
there,
and mirrors.
But thank you guys so much for everything you do to help other families. We obviously will never be able to repay you.
You don't have
the
to.
love and kindness you've given us, but we're just so thankful for you, and we're thankful that you get to be in our lives, and we're so thankful that we get to tell Asher, stories about you, and that he can grow up just knowing how he got here.
Yeah, well, I will tell you this. We just interviewed the Duties last week, and they said how wonderful you have been and how supportive you've been to other women who have been going through the struggle and sharing your story, and it's been really encouraging. So they've just been thrilled with you and Luis, as a couple, and helping you have little Asher. So I'm glad this
I will say, if I can, I just want to say, Dr. Kathy, Dr. Kevin, they've almost, they've become like family to us too. And I've seen a lot of doctors throughout my years in life, and I've never met a doctor like Dr. Kathy. She's so knowledgeable, and she's so honest, no matter what you want to hear.
Yeah.
She's so honest, and she's so knowledgeable. She's been right on every single thing that we've ever been through, that she's ever said to us. It's always been 100% right. And it's amazing because she's so intelligent.
Yeah.
And I'm in awe with her capabilities, and I'm excited to, see the next person get the chance to do this, and I'll be there for whoever I can to support them, because I wish somebody would have been there for me. So.
Right. Because when you're going through it, even though intelligently there are millions of other women, you still feel so alone.
Sure.
When it's happening to you. Well, you are a wonderful ambassador for our Maybe Baby contest. You too, Luis, back there in the background.
My man.
He's like right next to me too, and he's so far away.
Oh, he's like, just let her handle this one.
He's nervous.
Oh, that's
nervous.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Talk much.
It's absolutely fine.
Has my man changed a bunch of diapers?
Oh yeah, he changed the very first
There
one
you
in the
go.
hospital.
There
It
you
was
go.
a bad one. He got it.
All right.
He's been our diaper changing champion.
That's right.
Yay. Well, hopefully you've heard Kellie and Lisa's story and you're like even more encouraged now because look, she had a 20% chance that this would work and it did. And it can work for you too, but you have to take that chance. And, I know your heart breaks and you're like, I don't want to set myself up for disappointment again and again. And maybe this is the time. Maybe this is your time. And you were meant to hear this podcast so you can enter our contest. So, Kellie, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much. And you too, Louise.
No, thank you.
We'll be in touch
Thank you guys.
soon.
We love you guys.
Thank you. Love
Thanks.
you.
Love
Thank
you guys too. Happy birthday,
Happy
Asher.
birthday.
All right, bye.
Oh, happy birthday, Kelly.
Oh, thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Bye. They're the best. They're the best. And listen, we're going to give it one more time. You can go to kellyandallen.com/maybebaby if you want to, take a chance and see if you can win a free cycle of effortless IVF with doctors Kevin and Kathy Duty. You have to enter by 5 p.m. Central on April the 20th of 2021. The winning couple is announced April 22nd, 2021 on that podcast, and your free cycle needs to be completed by July 30th of 2021. Just 100 words or less. I know you heard Kellie's story. She's got such a long, man, some of that stuff I didn't know because she only had 100 words or less to tell her story. So maybe you'll be the one we'll be calling and saying congratulations. You're going to have a chance to have your own little maybe baby.
Yeah. And like I said, we've gotten hundreds of these. And, just a little peek behind the kimono, the doctors, they read every single one of them. And they kind of have to go through them from a health perspective, I think. Isn't that right,
Yeah.
Dad? And make sure that some of the information that is being provided is, you can be eligible to I guess, be a candidate for IVF.
And you would see that even with only 20% chance that, Kellie was still a candidate.
Right.
And listen, what Kellie said was very important. I don't know if you caught that, but I've given this advice many times to young women who are in their 20s and their 30s. They don't have, a man or a partner in their life. And they're like, well, I'm not really sure if I'm ready to have a baby. I know I want one in the future, but I'm not sure. It really is worth it to go in and just get your baseline for where you stand in your fertility. You might find out that you are fertile myrtle, you are good to go. But you might find out even in your 20s that your egg count is low, or you might have some situation that would make it difficult for you not only to get pregnant, but to carry a pregnancy to term. That was my situation. I not only had extreme difficulty getting pregnant on my own, but Dr. Duty told me if I were to get pregnant, the odds of me carrying it to term were not good. And then I would have had to go through the heartbreak of miscarriages. So it's really just to have that knowledge of where you stand in your fertility journey, even if you're not in a relationship, but if you want to have a baby in the future, we highly recommend Doctors Kevin and Kathy Duty, not just because they are so generous to give us these cycles to give away, but because they helped me in my journey. And you can find them at embryo.net. It's the easiest website to remember. And again, thank you to the Duties for doing this for us again.
Remember when the Duties last podcast, they were talking to us about the first things you check in a couple's fertility, and usually one of the very first things you check is the man.
Yeah.
What do you think Kevin meant by when he asked me, because I said, well, I have experience doing this.
Mm-hmm,
I had to do this at one. Mm-hmm. What did he mean by did it hurt? What did you think he meant by that?
I don't know. I wasn't in that exam room when that happened.
I don't know what he meant by that.
I know for me, some parts did hurt.
Maybe I should ask him.
But that's the thing about, people say if childbirth, childbirth is pretty bad, but if it hurt that bad, you'd never have another one. People would only have one child. But I think there's like this amnesia that happens after you have a baby. You forget about the pain. And honestly, there's so much I've forgotten about what I went through. I remember being sad, and I remember sitting in the parking lot and crying before I went into my appointment to Dr. Duty because I'm like, this is my last shot. I'm not doing this again. I can't do this every time. And I remember that, but I would do it all over again because it was worth it in the end, the heartache, and then eventually the celebration.
The mental pain and the physical pain.
That's right. That's right. Look, speaking of, going to the doctor to get checked out, But, has it ever happened where you need to see a doctor? You search and search and search. You finally find one that looks like a good fit. You wait on hold to book that appointment because now you're committed. You're in. You're not hanging up. It gets to be a challenge, right? Well, you finally get through. You make the appointment. You have to rearrange your schedule to make it work. You finally get in for that appointment to find out this doctor doesn't take your insurance. Well, we have right? Luckily, there's a solution. Just download the free ZocDoc app.
ZocDoc app.
ZocDoc.
Yes.
Yes, it's an app, Alan.
Yes.
It's the easiest way to find a great doctor and instantly book an appointment. With ZocDoc, you can search for local doctors who take your insurance, read verified patient reviews, and book an appointment in person or what we were talking to Dr. Kathy Duty about this, a video chat. That's been really great, these medical appointments you can do by video now. And never wait on hold with a receptionist again. Whether you need a primary care physician, a dentist, dermatologist, psychiatrist, an eye doctor, any specialist, ZocDoc has you covered. So go to ZocDoc.com. You try saying that 5 times fast. ZocDoc.com/sandwich. Download the ZocDoc app to sign up for free. Every month, millions of people use ZocDoc. When you need a doctor, ZocDoc should be your go-to. Takes all the guesswork out of finding the right doctor for whatever ails you at the moment. For me, it's my big toe at the moment. It hurts. I need to get it checked. Thankfully, ZocDoc makes healthcare easy.
Now is the time to prioritize your health. You can go to ZocDoc.com/sandwich and download the ZocDoc app to sign up for free and book a top-rated doctor. Many are available as soon as today. That's ZocDoc.com/sandwich.
But I'm bummed. All right. How do you feel about voting for a celebrity? We've all done it. Well, maybe we all haven't. I shouldn't say that. We've had the opportunity to vote for a celebrity, and more than one of them have won political office.
He cheated.
Well, here's the thing.
He cheated.
Recently, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been, teasing, saying, hey, well, if the people want me to run, it might be my duty. It would be my honor to serve the people. People have been asking Matthew McConaughey, because he's had a lot of hot sports opinions when it comes to politics, especially during the last election. So this website called Pipplesay, I finally figured it out, Pipplesay.
How has Matthew, just quick question, how has Matthew McConaughey gained so much momentum in the political theater? What has he
Well, he is an interesting interview, and he just wrote a book.
He's an interesting interview, and he wrote a book.
He's an interesting interview, and he has a lot of opinions that he's not afraid to share. And he's, a lot of people like what he has to say.
I understand he has a lot of opinions.
He's
a lot of
likable.
people got a lot of opinions.
Well, that's what politicians are. They have ideas. They have
do
a good
people want
personality.
politicians, or do they want people to get stuff done?
But aren't politics a little bit razzmatazz, razzle-dazzle, showbiz?
Sure.
So, it's kind of a natural crossover. But Pipplesay, this is the hardest thing ever to say. Pipplesay survey powered by Market Cube. They conducted a nationwide survey in the United States from April 2nd to the 4th of 2021. So this is just a couple weeks ago.
This is hot.
They got over 30,000 online responses from individuals ages 18 and older. Do you want to know how they feel about Hollywood and politics?
Well, is this broken down by age group, or just everyone's lumped in?
They do. I can break it down with millennials and Gen Z if you really want to, but let's just do the overall. Okay. Overall, speaking of Matthew McConaughey and Dwayne Johnson, I think they're the reason that spurred this survey in the first place. 58% of Americans would support them if they run for political office. 58%. 63% of Americans believe Hollywood stars can make good politicians with the right attitude, aptitude, and support staff. 30% of Americans would like to see Angelina Jolie run for president, while 22% would vote for Tom Hanks.
It's not too good.
That's not too good what?
22%?
Well, look at a lot of politicians when they first enter the race. The dark horse usually can come through and pull out a win, right? Or people who come out of the gate, you think, this is the shoe-in, this is the front runner. Mm-hmm. They make a couple of missteps on the campaign trail, and it's over.
Like fall down?
Like speech, Alan.
Oh,
Like they say the wrong thing.
Oh, like a gaffe.
Like a verbal misstep.
Like a verbal gaffe.
Yes, or they trip and fall. I think everybody thought that's what I meant. They trip and fall, and it's so embarrassing. You say, I cannot vote for a man who can't put one foot in front of the other,
Right.
or a woman in high heels.
Or one word in front of the other.
That's right. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people have hot opinions about this. What is your opinion in this survey? You can answer for yourself, but you may or may not agree with these people. What is your opinion about Hollywood stars running for political positions? 45% say they're free to do what they want, and that is true.
That is true.
That's true.
It's very true.
19% say anyone can join politics these days. 13% say just stick to acting. Shut up and act. It's like that shut up and dribble that woman said about basketball.
Right.
She's paying for that.
Yeah.
12% said they must stick to political activism at the most, like a lot of celebrities who are very active in politics. The first one that comes to mind, Alyssa Milano. She has a lot of hot opinions about, politics and things that go on. They're saying, okay, you have a right, but don't run for office.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think Hollywood stars can make good politicians? 39% said yes. I went over this one a minute ago. If they have the right political aptitude. Let me go in order. 24% say yes if they have the right team in place. 13% say no, just being famous is not enough, or is it? Because we put a lot in celebrity these days, especially young people, these TikTok stars. I know a lot of my daughter's opinions, political opinions, are based on who she's hearing speak on social media. And when you're 18, you're old enough to vote. And you don't think an 18-year-old wouldn't be swayed just to vote for their favorite person, their favorite celebrity?
I got 2 words for you. Kanye West.
I know. But Kanye has so many issues, and I don't think he resonates with 18-year-olds.
Okay.
Do you think Hollywood stars can make good politicians? 12% say no, their lives are way too different. And that's true. A lot of times when a politician does do something, they're so out of touch with they were like,
for sure.
It's considered tone deaf,
Yeah.
because they're so completely out of touch with what's going on. The rest of it. I remember when quarantine first happened and everything was shut down, and poor Gal Gadot, she is the sweetest person ever. She means well. She really does. But she decided to ask all of her celebrity friends to sing Imagine by John Lennon. And you remember they put it out and they all got slammed for it. And she's just like, she's one of those, tender-hearted hippie kind of feeling people. But, while they're quarantining in their villas, and their chateaus,
Yeah.
and other people are, it wasn't the same. It was a little out of touch and a little tone deaf.
Yeah, tone deaf is a good word. The ones that get me are the Hollywood stars, and I know that they all have to be this way, whether they believe it or not, but the ones that are very green conscious, yet they burn thousands of pounds of jet fuel to go to Aspen or go to Norway or wherever they're going.
Yeah, it's very hypocritical. I know when environmental issues first became really hot topics, I don't remember her name. You're going to be mad at me, but I remember this woman walked the walk, talked the talk, and so did Ed Begley Jr. was like this too, but she was a Baywatch babe. She was one of the Baywatch girls, and I remember she was so environmental. She'd give tips to people, and she would take really fast showers, but she would put a bucket in the shower with her, and any of the water that ran off she would use to water her plants and things like that.
Wow.
I'll never forget that.
So she'd dump like soap and stuff on
I
her
guess
plant? Huh.
she'd use it for other things. She'd recycle her shower water.
Okay. Hey, more power.
I'll never
to her.
forget that. And people like Ed Begley Jr., I think he even had a TV show, a reality show based on his environmentalism. He goes around and speaks at conferences about, he was one of the first celebrities to rely on public transportation when, he's a celebrity, and he'd ride a bike and all that kind of stuff. Anyway.
How big do you think our carbon footprint is here at the Manor?
Probably pretty bad, but I don't, we recycle to a point.
We recycle. We turn off the lights.
Well, as we're looking out there, the kitchen light's still on.
Yeah.
But I've gotten on Alan.
No, I've replaced every light bulb in this house with an LED.
That's true. So if we leave a light on, it's not as expensive as it would have been.
It's not burning as much energy. What else do we do?
I do get on you from time to time for letting the water run when you brush your teeth.
Yeah. And I've and
That's
I've,
that's
well,
a
and I've kind of get tired of hearing that, so I've tried to do better there.
right. So that's the only thing I can think of that we don't recycle probably as religiously as we could or should.
I only water on water days.
But it's so interesting when you hear about recycling, when they really break it down. It's like, is it a cost-effective way of doing business? I don't know. It's really interesting. I've read different things. They like say, make sure whenever you put your products in the recycle bin that there can be no traces of food or anything in them, because somebody has to sort through that.
Right.
And it's like, well, that's taking a lot of power.
It takes a lot of
and,
it takes a lot of energy to recycle something.
yeah. And what's the point? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not well versed on that, but you know what? We've got a recycle bin. It only comes every other week in our city. In some places, it comes every week. I wish if it came more often, we'd recycle more.
We fill it up with cardboard.
We fill it up and it just sits there. And, we have to wait 2 weeks. And so then what happens? Any recyclable stuff we have to put in the regular trash because it comes more often.
But I guess my original point was, personally, I wouldn't stand on a pedestal and say I'm for, this, and that are environmentally friendly, and then take my G6 over to
That's true.
to Belize or
Because that's
whatever.
really blatant. If you're going to be a hypocrite, you got to do it in private.
Yeah.
That's something you can cross stitch on a pillow.
Right.
Do you believe celebrity opinions and endorsements influence public opinion? 81% say yes. That's why they hire them to sell Pepsi. That's why they hire them to sell cars.
That's why you've been cranking out bits and spots for 25 years.
Let me tell you what else they found out. Some celebrities were paid to promote political platforms and things like that. There was a big scandal about that. Like, I don't have the article in front of me right now, but they were being paid about these really political, you wouldn't expect a celebrity to comment on an uprising in Uganda or something. But they were saying that some celebrities were being paid like an endorsement fee to make a comment about something that's happening on the other side of the world. It's really strange. I might have to do some more research and get that on a future podcast.
Okay.
Do you believe celebrity opinions and endorsements influence public opinion? 81% say yes, 48% say to some extent, 33% say to a big extent, 12% not sure, and 7% say no. Well, 7% you're wrong. It might not affect your opinion, but it does make a difference.
It would be real interesting to have received this data by political party.
Well, they just do by age.
It's just by age, huh?
But, I mean, you can't say it's by political party because
Oh, how do you, as you're doing the survey, what do you identify with? Well, who is your party?
my personal party.
No, I'm saying when they did this survey.
Oh,
it
I
would
don't.
be
I don't
interesting
know
to
if
have-
they. I'll see if I have it on here.
Yeah.
Okay, so they asked among Hollywood supporters. They went men and women. They didn't just lump them all together. But who among the following male Hollywood stars would you like to see run for president? So they gave them choices. They didn't get write-in candidates for this. The number one was Tom Hanks with 22%, followed by Will Smith with 21%. 17% said they would vote for, or they would like to at least see him run for president, George Clooney. 13%, speaking of the carbon footprint
Oh,
burning,
there he
Leonardo
is.
DiCaprio.
There he is.
10% say Harrison Ford, who actually played the president. Is he the first one out of them so far that's ever played president? Remember, he was on
think
Air
so.
Force One, and
Yeah.
he had to save the plane.
I remember that.
9% said they'd like to see Robert. I shouldn't say voted for because this is like who you'd like to see run. 9% would like to see Robert Downey Jr. and 8% Robert De Niro.
God, talk about a grumpy old son of a bitch.
He spent the last 4 years of his life angry at Donald
Oh,
Trump.
He was very angry.
Very angry.
His career is over.
As
It's
far as
over.
As far as female Hollywood stars you would like to see run for president, 30% said Angelina Jolie. She does a lot of work as an ambassador. She does a lot of goodwill things. 27% said Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
She says she wouldn't ever run. Now, she could be swayed the other way, but she says she feels like she can do more good as a
Why would
private
she want
citizen.
to? Why would she want to do that?
You can do more good as a private citizen.
She should just,
You're not beholden to any
just
groups, parties,
exactly
right?
enjoy your billions.
12% say Dolly Parton. Would that not be the happiest country ever if Dolly Parton was president?
I don't think Dolly's going to be with us too much longer.
That's okay. How old is she?
She's about 78, isn't she?
That's okay.
Oh, wait, the guy that's in office is
Right.
78. Yeah.
She'd be great. I think Dolly Parton would make a wonderful president. 9% say Ellen DeGeneres. 9% also said Meryl Streep. 7% said Helen Mirren.
Streep?
They just, hey. And 6% said Jane
Oh,
Fonda.
yeah. Yeah, there's a winner.
Hey, she has
There's a winner.
she has opinions.
Yeah, she does.
I love her on Grace and Frankie.
There are a lot of veterans that have opinions
I
about
know.
her as well.
Grace and Frankie's a good show on Netflix. If it's going to come back for one more season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the insights. Alan was asking for a breakdown about age groups. So 40% of millennials would support both Matthew McConaughey and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's entry into politics, as compared to 37% of Gen Xers, that's our generation,
Yeah.
and 23% of Gen Zers, who would be my daughter's generation.
They don't know who the hell Matthew McConaughey is, right?
They're like, they don't care.
Yeah.
35% of millennials and Gen Xers think Hollywood stars can make good politicians, as compared to 30% of Gen Z.
Okay.
51% 49 of men, 49% of women believe celebrity opinions and endorsements influence public opinion. And Will Smith is the most popular choice for president among both millennials and Gen Z. Oprah and Angelina, top female choices for Gen Z and millennials, if that helps you at all.
Didn't give us Gen X's
Not on that. I guess they didn't
preferred
have a
choice.
That was just a few insights that I got. But I thought that was really interesting.
That
stuff.
is interesting. That's good stuff, babe. People love lists. People love surveys.
Well, I hope so, because you're going to get a lot of them here on a sandwich and some loving.
There you are.
You know what?
That's called evergreen content.
It is. And I blew it all today. All right. You know what? The best bacon, the best steak, the best chicken, the best salmon you will ever eat, it won't come from a grocery store. You're only going to find it on a family farm, caught by independent Alaskan fishermen. And that's why you need Moinkbox.com.
Moink box.
Moink delivers grass-fed, grass-finished beef and lamb, pastured pork and chicken, wild-caught Alaskan salmon direct to your door, helping family farms become financially independent outside of big agriculture. Their animals are raised outdoors. Their fish swim happily wild in the ocean, and Moink meat is free of antibiotics, hormones, sugar, all the other junk you find in prepackaged meat in the aisle. Sign up at moinkbox.com/show to get a year of ground beef for free, and then pick what meats you want delivered with your first box. And I'm sorry, that's not show, it's sandwich.
Very Ron Burgundy.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
That was our show's name, right?
Oh, no.
I did not.
Oh, no.
That's moinkbox.com/sandwich to get, that's why I'm not running for politics. To get a year of ground beef for free, then pick what meats you want delivered with your first box. Change what you get each month and cancel anytime. Moink, by the way, was founded by an 8th-generation farmer who was featured on Shark Tank. In fact, the host, Kevin O'Leary, one of the sharks, said it's the best bacon he has ever tasted. We agree. And Jamie Siminoff, the creator of the Ring video doorbell, he invested in Moink as well. They guarantee you'll say, oink, oink, I'm just so happy I got moinked. That's their slogan, Alan. Isn't that cute? Never have we appreciated Moink as much as we do. Alan now especially, he's decided to up the protein in his diet, but he doesn't want any hormones added in. With Moink, our freezer is fully stocked. I don't have to run back and forth to the grocery store trying to find Alan approved meat because it's right there. We love Moink, and we know you will too.
I approve of Moink, and you can too. You should too. Join the Moink movement today. Go to moinkbox.com/sandwich right now, and listeners to our show get free ground beef for a year. Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of ground beef. That's 1 year of the best ground beef you'll ever taste, but for a limited time. Spelled MOINK box.com/sandwich. That's moinkbox.com/sandwich.
Babe, you have to say what they guarantee you'll say.
Oink, oink. I'm just so happy I got moinked.
That's a cute slogan right there.
That is. Their marketing people are on top
They're
of
on
things.
it. You won't forget it.
Oh.
Oink, oink, I got moinked.
I'm just so happy.
I'm just so happy I got moinked. Maybe they have a jingle to it. We just don't know it. Oink, oink, I'm just so happy I got moinked.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, we do love Moinked. So anyway, we love you too. We love y'all for joining us every week. twice a week, hopefully, on a sandwich and some love in the podcast. It was so great to catch up with Kellie and Luis.
Yeah.
And get an update on our little
Aren't
baby,
they the
our little
cutest-
show baby Asher.
Cutest little family.
They are the cutest, the sweetest. And hopefully their story inspired you. Again, Alan and I would love for you to get your entry submitted to our Maybe Baby 3.0 contest. You don't have all the time in the world, but you'd have a little bit of time left to get your entry in. Just go to kellyandallen.com/maybebaby to get all the details. And hopefully we'll be announcing you soon as the winner. And thank you for listening to my celebrity little survey. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun, babe. And it's not too late if you want to go to another webpage. Go to kellyandallen.com/vacation if you want some information on the upcoming 2021 podcast family vacation. We've got over 100 people going. So it is going to be a potty, but there's probably a little space left, but you're going to need to get on it here pretty soon. So go to kellyandallen.com/vacation. You can read about the vacation. There's a form that will go to our travel agent, Judy, who can answer any questions that you have. But Kellie and I will be there for a solid week.
July 4th week.
We'll be there July 3rd through July 10th.
Yep.
So you can come that whole time, 4 days of that time, 5 days of that, whatever
What works for you.
Whatever works for you. Come hang out with us. We're going to have a big party, a lot of fun. And
we're working on our bikini bodies
we are.
as we speak.
Both
of us.
We need serious help.
Well, we've got a little less than 11 weeks to make it happen.
Yeah, we'll pull back the kimono, revealing all at some point about what we're doing, but we just got started.
Yeah. It was fun. My girlfriend, she came to town to visit us, and she is a professional bodybuilder and a nutritionist and a trainer. And she took one look at us and said,
Yeah.
let me help you.
Right. She said, "Can I feel your arm?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yes."
And what was the word she used to describe it?
She said she felt it for 2 seconds. She goes, "You're dehydrated. Your skin is spongy."
Spongy.
Yeah.
She called my man spongy.
She said I was spongy.
She said it with love, but that's because you're dehydrated. So now Alan is drinking over a gallon of water a day.
She says, "What do you eat?" And I told her. She said, not good. And then she looked at my blood work and she goes, "This is you're out of control."
Out of control.
Yeah.
We might have to save all this, or we're going to start another podcast.
Yeah. Good call, babe.
We'll get to that next time if you want to hear more about Alan's weight loss journey.
Well, this isn't about weight loss.
Oh, it's about health journey.
This is gonna
Fitness.
This is gonna be all about looking good in a Speedo.
Yeah. It's truly that she's got him on a program because his, sometimes you have a goal and, for going to a high school reunion or, getting into a Speedo for a vacation with 100 people that some of them you've never met before. But anyway, that's what the plan Alan's on.
Because here's the thing. You can't roll out in a flesh-colored Speedo that says cocky on the front and show stealer on the ass if you got a big old Dunlop hanging over the front of it.
And not with spongy arms.
And not with spongy arms. So I gotta get this stuff in check. All right, babe.
That's the plan.
Anything else?
No, that's it for this week.
All right. Well, love you desperately.
Love you.
Love our listeners desperately. I love them so much. I'm sure we'll podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.